Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Oh, the video looks like it's a little choppy, but that's all right. We're gonna get started. Just for those of you who are new, welcome to my channel. I'm Mike. I like to do a lot of gesture drawing and things like that. I try to teach along the way too, some of the things that I've learned over the past few years. So hopefully you'll enjoy that as well. I'm gonna do, like I said, gestures, and then I'll do some hand anatomy. I think next week I'm gonna start doing gestures, maybe some hands still, and then I'm gonna do clothing on the figure. So without further ado, let's get started here. I hope everybody is doing well, taking care of themselves. I hope that life has been treating you well. So yeah, let's get going here. As always, any questions, concerns, any of that stuff that y'all have, yeah, just feel free to put it in the comments. I will get to them as soon as I can. I'm using a different brush today. I think I want to try to use this as my inking brush soon, just because I think it just has a lot of versatility to it. So I'm going to practice with it in gesture format for a bit, just to get used to the flow of it. For those of you who don't really know too much about me, this is like your first time seeing anything on my channel, I like to do, I'm attempting to do like a manga at some point. My dream is to become a video game artist, and do concept art for video games, and then allow myself to also get done with, or to do the manga and stuff that I have in mind. That's kind of the goal there. A lot of people ask, like, what's your manga gonna be about? The plan is to make the manga about mental health related topics, using mental health as the power system for my manga, and allowing that to hopefully be a really big difference between my manga and others. It's gonna be a shonen style. I'm gonna end up doing it on like a Voice Me, so it will be like a webtoon comic, or not webtoon comic, I shouldn't say it that way. It'll be a vertical web comic, a scroller. The reason for that is because I don't want this to be like my profession, doing manga art. I would rather do the character concept art. So with that being said, I'm not looking to try to get published and things like that anymore. That was a goal at one point, and maybe it'll still happen, who knows, but I'm not going to put all my eggs into that basket. I think that being a concept artist, one, it's a far more sustainable career path if I do decide to go down that route, and two, it is a I kind of lost my train of thought, but two, I want my story to be my story and no one else's, and it's just like, it's been kind of, it gets disheartening and disappointing when you put a lot of effort into something and obviously they don't believe in whatever the vision is that you have for it, which is kind of what's been happening when I enter contests and things of that nature. And I believe in it, so I want to post it. But yeah, so that's the plan with that. All right, that's 2 gestures, and this one's kind of like interesting because it's so scrunched up. I think that this could probably go down to here. Try to add a little bit of extra anatomy onto here as well. I think that's good enough. All right. I'm gonna do this one. Some of the important things to think about with gesture drawing is just overall, like, you're going for overall fluidity and motion within the piece. Like, you want to make sure that you are not doing lines like this or like this or anything like that. That's no bueno. You want to make sure that you are utilizing your longer strokes in order to retain some of the gesture and dynamism in the pieces that you're working on. All right. Another thing that's like really important with gesture is I mean, it depends on what level you're at, right? But you want to make sure you are if you're using volumes, that you're doing your overlaps correctly and things like that. It becomes very easy to get those things kind of confused and muddied up if you're not paying attention to what's overlapping what and things of that nature. Some other like tidbits that you would want to think about as you're drawing is you really want to be thinking about like proportion and relationship, specific things, relationships to one another. That's really like the main piece of doing very dynamic and consistent looking gestures and characters later on down the road. If you can get the relationships down between specific body parts and things of that nature, you're going to get a really accurate and very dynamic looking character. So I am gonna fix her head a bit. And the last thing is I could probably shrink this just a tiny bit, and then also move this backwards a bit. This is a really nice gesture, or I guess pose, I should say. It's really nice to draw it as a gesture. And don't be afraid when you're doing your gestures. Don't be afraid to go a little bit further beyond what you think is happening with the movement of it. What's the worst that can happen, right? Is that it looks a little off. But you'd be surprised because our brains like have this tendency to make things a little bit less dynamic than what we actually think they are when we're drawing it. So really exaggerate stuff and you'll see you get a better result with your gesture drawings overall when you do that. So again, this is one of my favorite ones to draw as of recent because of how dynamic this pose actually is, even though it's a fairly simple pose, right? It's nothing crazy, there's not too much foreshortening or anything like that, but it's just a relatively dynamic pose because of and I can kind of show you this since I'm done, but there's just, the line of symmetry for this, or the balancing line, or whatever you want to call it, is right in there, and the chest is here, the pelvic region's facing that way, and the head's kind of facing this way, and they all have their own plane, so it makes it really dynamic. The weight is shifted a lot, so it gives this sense of motion towards something. She's also motioning somewhat in this direction, but her eyes are looking in this direction, there's something that scared her or something of that nature. It's just I like that pose a lot. It's a good one. Alright, so we're done with our first set of 5. Let's see if we can push through the rest of these. Alright. These kinds of lines that I'm putting in here are really good to do if you're having a little bit of trouble like visualizing like where the forms and shapes are going. It'll also help you down the road because at some point you'll just be able to imagine these lines, and that'll help you with things like clothing and stuff like that. So, called contouring lines. Alright. This is also a really good pose. It's super dynamic. Reminds me of like Spider-Man. Probably make the head a bit smaller. Dude's head was massive. Probably the neck a little shorter too. You know, another thing that I always talk about is when you're doing gestures and stuff and you're trying to learn, learning means using reference, right? Like, I think people mix up, like, you aren't putting in like any new information if you are doing things from imagination. That's not to say that, you know, doing that isn't a good practice or something that you should just never do, right? That's not what I'm saying at all. But in order to learn how to draw something, you have to use references, because if you don't, you're just doing it based off of what you think you know and not what you actually know. So when you're doing something that you think you know, you aren't learning, right? It's because it's just what you feel is right and not necessarily what is. So like, for instance, all these gestures that I do on stream, or a good portion of them at least, I do from reference. So I have this program that cycles through every however long I decide. For this stream, it's every 2.5 minutes. It'll cycle through to the next image. And yeah, like all things that I've chosen that I would like to learn more about with the pose, so that I can start to use it for my own visual library later on, so my own imagination. Sorry, I'm trying to like, this one's been kind of difficult for me to get right, so I'm trying to like really look at it. It looks funny right now because of the the leg difference and how that like leg that's further away from us looks much smaller. But it's part of the perspective, and I'm missing something with it. I mean, it definitely, that's probably a piece of it. I'll have to go back through, but it's definitely in need of contour lines. Ooh, shoulder's starting to be on fire. I'm going to erase away some of these extra lines here. Right. This is also one of my favorite poses, and again, whenever I draw this one, I'm always saying I'm not really sure why. And I probably shouldn't have this one on my like list of poses to practice because it's just not going to be useful later on down the road, but that's okay. Glad to have fun with your art, right? At the very least, it's gonna help me with leg gesture and stuff like that, and making legs that, from imagination, that would also have the necessary balance and footing. So. got that one in. Cool. So we're done with poses. This all came out pretty good. This is the one that I need to work on more, but the rest I'm pretty happy with. Yeah. Alright, so we'll move on to hands. Also, if there's anything that y'all, any ideas that y'all have for streams that you would like to see, please tell me. I have no problem doing a different kind of stream. I just like to do these streams because they're super helpful for my practice as well, so. Alright, we'll take a quick drink of water and we'll get started with hands. I'm going to do 10 hands as well, and then we'll wrap up for today. Alright. Let me see here. So this is a fist. To me it's looking like that's coming in there. Alright. Alright, I'm cool with this. This is a good start for the hands. I guess we can move on just to the next one. I don't really have any more that I particularly feel like I need to do if I can talk. So we'll move on to the next hands. So I talk about hands a lot in like my journey to try to figure out how to consistently draw them. But one of the things that's important about hands is just to understand the proportions within fingers and things of that nature. and that should be helpful in your journey to figuring hands out. So they have these like, we have these like two main segments of the fingers, which is why I like to draw my fingers as like just two pieces to begin with, and then if I need to, I'll break it down more. Sorry, I just wanted to finish this up. Yeah, so like this segment of the finger and this segment of the finger for all 4 fingers, and then also your thumb, they are about the same length. So that's helpful for just like drawing stuff out and mapping the hand to begin with. Fists are much simpler than an open hand because your fingers can only really, if it's a complete fist, can only really go in one direction, which is like kind of inwards. Like when you close your hand, your fingers, I mean, my hand was broken, or my fingers were broken a while ago, but your fingers kind of have this shape where it goes towards this part of your hand or your wrist. So it makes it a little bit easier to draw. Not that it is easy, I don't want to say that, but let's see here. Alright. This is a bit rough, but it does get the job done for like the preliminary, and then you go through and just finalize and sure up everything, but alright, so there we go. Ready for the next hand. Let me see here. All right. Yo, what's up, Coop? Appreciate you stopping in. How's your week been, Coop? Alright. Yeah, you're getting close to having to go back to school, right? I'm pretty happy with this hand. I think these fingers could probably be a bit longer, just a bit. So I'm gonna do that. Other than that, though, I'm pretty happy with it. Next. How's your fam doing, Coop? Uh. Oh yeah? Did you take her up on that offer? Doesn't seem like you did. Oh, another thing with hands, everybody, that I like to do, and you've probably kind of seen me do it a bit, is I like to make like a glove almost, and then everything on the inside of this part of the mitten, it's a mitten, it's not a glove, it's where the fingers would go. Just going through and cleaning this one up just a bit. Nah, I didn't. Nothing wrong with her. I just don't have a clue on who she is, you know? Yeah. I mean, you can go on a date with her, you know, and doesn't mean you gotta be confined to, you know, just dating her. That's what dating's about, right? Get to know her. It's like a first date's like an interview. First dates are always so like nerve-wracking though. Oof. Always get so nervous before them. Especially like when you get to like your age. Also just like an awkward human being like I am, just without having to be on a date, so makes it even worse. Because I'm like, oh, yep, this is me, I'm awkward. Well, I mean, I'll put it to you this way. I think that, like, you know, if the grandparents are gonna be like upset with you that you know you went on a date and it didn't go as expected, then that's not really on you. That's on them. Just because you go on a date doesn't mean you gotta marry the person you date or date them long term either. There's like something that's just a tad bit off about this hand, and I can't like figure out what it is. Keep it at that. Oh, are you a nervous asker? I was. I know I was. I hated asking people on dates because it's just like, oh, time for a rejection. Zero confidence. There was like a point in time though where like I just was like too dumb to like understand all of it, like what it meant for somebody to say no and stuff. I mean, not that it really actually means anything, right? People have types and things like that, but I haven't never asked. Nice. Yep. I will ask people on dates, but, well, not anymore, obviously I'm married, but definitely had a difficult time, like, dredging up the courage to do so. Like I said, when I was, like, pretty young, like early high school, that age group, I didn't really care because I didn't, like, think about it. Yeah. But yeah, like after like I became like probably like a sophomore, like junior year of high school, the nerves started to kick in with that. I also was notoriously bad at telling, and still am, like I don't know if somebody's flirting with me or just being friendly or whatever, but so I was like, nah, I'm good. Like if they really like me, they'll make it really well known, and then maybe I'll do something. But yes, well, I mean the quick answer to that is it's just not true, so I don't have to actually worry about it. Uh, but and also my wife's not here, so even if I was being a goofball and decided to say, yeah, I ask chicks out all the time now, even though I'm married, which is obviously not true, uh, she wouldn't be here to be able to, like, come in here and smack me across the head. She's still at work. She's probably on her way home by now, though. Something off here, but just go with what I had for now. Next. I'm like hard concentrating right now. Sorry, everybody. Probably like breathing all hard to the mic and everything. But that just means I have a friend now, so that's true. That's true. I think this is the last hand, but man, this hand always just destroys me. And I haven't been, like, these hands are okay, but they're definitely not the best hands I've drawn during like one of these sessions. And this one is going to break me. Alright. Here. Here. Great. Do I have friends? Yeah, a lot of my friends are out of state. Um, like I back from where I'm from. I don't see them very frequently. Uh, but I mean, I have like a lot of the people that Shannon grew up with. I would consider my friends now, but I don't hang out with them frequently. Probably my like best friend that is in this area now is Shannon's sister's fiance. He's probably my better friend in this area, but yeah, I am going to Virginia this weekend, so it will be nice to see my brother and my best friend Marty. I always am so hard on myself with the hands. They all came out pretty alright. This one's a little bit troubled, but overall I think they're pretty good. But yeah, a lot of I'm a pretty introverted person. Most of the people that I would consider like my best friends I don't see very frequently, but I talk to every day. But yeah. Alright. Well, I think that is I think that's gonna do it for me for today. So this is what, this is about, how long have we been on? An hour's worth of work. It's a lot in an hour, right? A lot of good practice in. Alright, but what is that hand holding? Which one? This one? Or this one? Regardless, don't worry about it. Nah, they're like, they're holding like, what are those? Oh, this is gonna be, I have to say it now just because I know it's gonna come off horribly. It's like is it Donatello? Which Ninja Turtle has this thing? Give me 1 second. One second. Yeah, it's like the long rod that Donatello uses. A long like stick looking thing that Donatello uses in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think it's supposed to be something like that, but it's like what you would, it's like basically the same size as like the handle part of like a sword or something like that. I would say like a great sword, right? This one. Hope you got a giggle out of that one. But yeah, so this is about an hour's worth of work and get a lot done. Hopefully, hopefully y'all follow along and stuff like that and get something out of it. Tell me what you would like to see. I'm gonna start, I think, doing I'll probably do like hour to an hour and a half of streams where I do what I just did, but I also do like 5. Okay, good. I do like 5-ish like gestures that have clothing on as well, and I practice clothing folds. That's something I've been working on this week. I've kind of gotten down a little bit of a recipe, but I'm just trying to solidify it. And yeah, other than that though, I'll end up jumping off, but I'll keep y'all updated with my upcoming one shot. I don't know exactly when I'll get that done. I haven't had a lot of free time to work on some of the stuff I'd like to work on for it. But I just have one more big thing that I need to get done, one more bigger like project, which is just creating the city in a 3D model. Once I'm finished with that, then we'll be good to go. I'll start thumbnailing, and I'll be sure to update all of you on it, because I know a lot of you have been asking about it. But I love you guys. I hope that you have a great night. Take care of yourselves, and happy drawing as always. And I'll see you in the next stream. Oh, one last thing. I do plan on doing a video in the near future. I have two planned. One is going to be clothing and clothing folds, and the other one is going to be how to draw bodies just in general. So I'm going to take it'll probably be like a 30-minute video where I break down the process to be able to draw a body like I draw here more consistently. So hopefully that'll be helpful for people. But yeah, I'm actually going to jump off now. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much. Coop, I appreciate you jumping on and hanging out for a bit. Always makes the streams incredible. Alright, I will see y'all next week. Peace.